Chinga tu madres, welcome back. We get a big Champions League review for you guys, letting you know everything that happened.
Nice. Starting off Tuesday, the two games, Bayern Munich, Villarreal, Real Madrid, Chelsea. We'll get to the Bayern game, impressive result. But we want to talk about the Chelsea game because...
What a game.
Oh man, a great game of football to watch as a neutral.
And also even more fun as a player, or as a person who roots against Chelsea. So,
yeah,
even better.
Yeah. Real Madrid, oh my goodness. It looked shaky in the first half.
90 minutes probably it felt and looked shaky.
They were not looking good at all. Chelsea doing what they needed to do, tying up the aggregate,
for sure,
getting ahead in the aggregate at one point.
But also having a goal called off that put them ahead. So they could have been 2 ahead theoretically.
Yeah.
But obviously if they would have scored that one and it would have counted, Real Madrid could have done whatever. But they had opportunities to really finish that game off 100%. In the 90 minutes. But they just weren't able to. And Real Madrid just showed once again that class is permanent.
Oh man, Benzema, class. Modric, class.
Cruz, class.
The whole
Vinicius
midfield.
Getting there. Had a good game.
Vinicius doing what he does. Again, linking up with Benzema. I don't know. I couldn't even tell you how many goals they have together. But I know it's an insane amount.
I mean, just the sheer quality that Real Madrid has and has had in that team is crazy. Because Luka Modric, once again, showing why he is one of the best midfielders ever. Not in the world, ever.
And people, they're always going to throw out the Xavi and Iniesta debate. But yeah, Modric is slightly a different type of player to them. But you obviously can see the same because they're midfielders.
They're similar, for sure.
But Modric is his own type of player.
Yeah.
And I definitely put him in that category.
Of one of the best ever. I mean,
I'm not going to put him above anybody.
Right.
I'm not going to say who's better than who, but he's in the category. He's in the Xavi and Iniesta.
He is in the S tier of midfielders.
100%.
100%.
He won the Ballon d'Or, and how many of those guys did?
Exactly.
And I mean, but I don't like to use that argument because the Ballon d'Or is a shit trophy.
That year it was kind of in a lull, and also some players got screwed out of it. So Lewandowski in particular.
But besides that, he's just a world-class midfielder, and he showed it again. He does it in prime time, especially. He's Luka Modric. He's goated.
Same with Benzema. I mean, Benzema really didn't have that great of a game. He didn't have too many opportunities, but in extra time when he got that opportunity, he sure made the most of it.
Vinicius crossing it in right to Benzema's head, and you know he's not going to miss that.
Just a perfect pass
header.
And header, really. I mean, it was exactly what Real Madrid needed in extra time, and Chelsea weren't able to recover from it.
Yeah.
The other Tuesday game, we saw Bayern Munich take on Villarreal. It ended in a 1-1 draw, but Villarreal surprisingly goes through 2-1 on aggregate over probably the favorite going into the year, honestly. I mean, Bayern they run the Bundesliga, like everyone knows, every year, year after year, they do so well, but Champions League, man, that's where they're really put to the test, and small club.
Yeah.
The people like to talk about Villarreal like that. They took them down.
Villarreal showed out. I mean, they did exactly what they needed to do. They go down, then they come back and score one late, and it's just... It's scenes. Absolute scenes.
Chukwueze?
At Bayern Stadium. Man, people... I have so many people telling me that, and I see people saying that, they're going to go back to Munich and get smacked 10-0. Or they really had the potential to.
Yeah, and honestly, I fell victim to that. I thought it was going to be, 3-1, 4-0, honestly.
I'm not saying that couldn't have happened, because it definitely could have, but... Villarreal showing out. Another deep tournament run for Unai Emery.
Yeah. Bayern Munich and a lot of the world really underestimated Villarreal and Unai Emery coming into this game and coming into the draw. I mean, you saw Parejo's comments after the game. He was talking about Nagelsmann and how he basically said Nagelsmann said that he wanted to have the tie rounded up in the first leg. And they just disrespected Villarreal, basically saying, we can get this done in one game, won't even matter. and then they end up losing. So
Yeah.
shout out Villarreal,
Yeah.
Unai Emery, and those crazy supporters.
Wednesday, today, right now, just happened, just ended. Showing you right now, the Liverpool game ended 3-3 versus Benfica. What a game. I mean,
Valiant effort from Benfica.
100%. They had to go for it. They went down 3-1 at one point
Yep.
again. And then they do come back, and they're showing they got 2 goals late on really
Kind of
quickly.
consolations, though, really.
But they just they lost it from the beginning, going down 3-1, and when you're already down, you lost 3-1 the game before,
and
really
you
come
give up
back
the
from that.
first goal. You gave up the first goal to Konate again.
Yeah.
That dude scored twice this year, and they're both against you. So, I mean, Benfica really just were no match for Liverpool. They're just such a good coached team through and through that you're going to struggle. And then you also give up the first goal. You can't have that.
No.
So they really screwed themselves from the beginning, and they really couldn't do much about it.
Last game, we're going to talk about the most important one. City's 0-0 draw against Athletico. The craziest game of the season, I would say, so far for us. Like, in terms of... We were not dominant that game.
It was the craziest game in terms of intensity and some of the players.
Yeah.
Holy shit, do
And-
Athletico players lose their heads
Yeah.
if they lose. Oh my god.
Last game against Liverpool, obviously, that's going to take a lot out of you. And then the game before that being Atletico, and then here we are playing them again. So I feel like we were a fatigued side, you could say. We do have depth, but any team, you only have so many players. When you go up against those teams back to back to back, and now we have to go play Liverpool again in the FA Cup, which is going to be a really big game for us. I would like to move on in the FA Cup, especially. I like winning the cups. I just like to win the trophies.
Up to
And not a lot of people credit the FA Cup anymore as it used to be the biggest
Right.
in England and all that. But
It is just a semifinal though. The other game, hopefully Crystal Palace goes through and Crystal Palace wins the whole thing as a United supporter. I hope they just don't win. I hope City and Liverpool don't win anything, but one of them will win probably a double this year, honestly.
it's so frustrating that
It's
I
crazy.
love that Villarreal went through against Bayern. I'm not going to say I don't, but now that they have to play Liverpool, and
I wanted to see Bayern beat Liverpool.
it's so tough to bet against Liverpool when they're going up against Villarreal, and that would mean Liverpool being in the final of the Champions League, and City have to go through a very in-form Real Madrid. That is going to be
Probably the biggest test left.
Yeah, honestly, and we're gonna have to climb even higher mountains than we did against this game against Atletico. But the game today was just so intense. The first half, we played our game a little bit, but they had the better chances. They had a shot on goal. We did in the first half. Second half again, Atletico just outplayed us. Honestly,
They outran you.
They
I think.
they
I feel
they
like
outworked us, and that's the team they are, honestly. And I love that they went forward. They went for it today. It was so impressive to see, and if I wonder if they would have done that the first leg, it could be different results right now. But here we are standing. It was a 0-0, and I think Atletico showed what they can do and what they need to do more often.
But they just weren't able to get that final end product. I mean,
No.
we saw just after the 65th minute, Atletico Madrid had an incredible amount of chances.
Yeah.
And those chances were such good chances. You know, they're not corners that were way off or
No.
they weren't shots that were barely on target.
DePaul came on and
They were
made a
some
big
good
difference.
chances, man. Ederson, unfortunately for me, made a lot of good saves.
Oh my goodness!
John
We gotta give
Stones
a
with
shout out.
a game-saving
All of
block,
the
man.
discredit we get for Ederson about his people shit on him and that he turned up for us today. This proved he's one of the
Yeah.
best in Europe. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say he's the best because he's definitely not, but he's definitely an elite goalie, and I think he's the perfect goalie for our team. He showed his class today. We really needed him. John Stones, like you said, big important block. I think we miss Ruben Diaz a lot.
I think so too. He definitely provides a lot of stability at the back. I mean,
Yeah.
you can see just kind of the discombobulation that some of the defenders had. And then even when Ake came on for the injured Kyle Walker, he looked more reassured than a lot of the other players that started the game.
Ake really showing out again. He comes on as a sub, does his thing. He fights. That's what he does. And against Athletico, another team that every single 11 players on their team will fight. And Ake will fight too. Kyle Walker going down with an injury. I hope he's not seriously hurt. I'm not a big fan of players going down and wasting time. I don't like that. I'd rather, and I don't like it from City players either. I want them doing that, even if it means we're closer to winning the game. I don't like to see that. Just get up. And Kyle Walker, he was hurt, I guess, but I don't know. And we see the Phil Foden situation. He got kicked afterward.
Yeah.
Felipe's insane. Getting shown
crazy person.
He's going crazy, trying to throw him off the field. Then Zinchenko steps in. It's a whole madness. You see Felipe getting sent off.
Probably deserve it too. I mean, you can't kick out at somebody after you've pushed them down and not expect to get a yellow, and then also your second yellow of the day. You're
100%, already on a yellow.
You do that shit. I mean, it was really crazy to see them lose their heads at the end of the game, but I mean, we've seen that a lot from Diego Simeone and his teams. I mean, we've seen them go absolutely ballistic at the end of games that they're losing, and at the end of Champions League semifinals, quarterfinals, they've really just lost their heads quite a few times, but it's entertaining as a neutral.
Yeah, they definitely lost their heads there at the end. I think that they had definitely played the better game overall. We had more of the ball. Obviously, that's just what we do. We had really good pass accuracy. Played a good game. I'm not saying we played bad, but Atletico I would say we're better, had the better chances. Ederson turned up. Our defenders turned up. I'm so glad that Ruben Diaz is coming back because we really need him. This FA Cup game against Liverpool is going to be crucial. That's it. That's the end. That's all we have for you. Just the Champions League games. We have no Premier League coming up. It's the FA Cup, some other games, some interesting ties. As I already said, Man City, Liverpool. You have your meme. Enjoy your day.